Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack making backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews, how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Oh, that's Mecca Audio, man. Mecca Audio, I created a store that I wanted to give the DJs a home. Because at this time, rappers was taking over, you know what I mean, in the industry. You know, before that, it was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You understand what I'm saying? Grand Wizard Theodore, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Funky 4 Plus, you know what I mean? You know, but once things started moving in that direction, the DJs ain't had no way to go. And they the ones always made me feel good when I go in the after hours club, man. You know, the DJ. So, you know, I love Star Child. I love Starsky. You understand? Brucey B, Ron G. You understand? Doo-Wop. You know what I mean? We go all the way back. I love all them. Buck Wild, you know, S&S. You understand what I'm saying? Double J. You know what I mean? You know, my homie Double J. You know, but you know, they used to come to the Mecca and make their tapes in the Mecca for free. I don't charge nobody nothing. It was there. It was theirs. It wasn't for me to make money. It was for them to have a home. You know what I mean? So I gave the DJs a home. You know what I mean? And made sure they had it. And you know what I mean? Then I opened up Club 2000 and I gave, you know, Harlem a home. You know, I woke them up to Washington Heights and, you know, came in, did my little 2-step with my chants and all that. And, you know, you already know what it is. Like the AOI, you know what I mean? You know, I coined that, you know, Dougie Fresh signed it to me. We did what we did. You know what I mean? I own 100% of that. I wrote the Hip Hop Parade. You understand what I'm saying? You already know you know, it was a big thing with Tretch and them with that, you know, back. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I could have done better. Like I said, I did that without being able to read or write. I was just feeling my way around the dark. The money came, I protected the money, I stacked the money, I did the best I could with it. The people that came to me that brought ideas, you know what I mean? If it sounded feasible, you know what I mean? I dealt with it. So, I mean, that's how I got by with not having an education. But now there's a whole bunch. I could write a book on that. You know what I mean? You know, what I could have did different. But like I said, back then I was feeling my way in the dark. I ain't here to sit here, you know, blowing smoke up nobody's ass, telling no stories. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it real. I just knew how to get money, got money. If I wanted to buy a Mercedes, I bought a Mercedes. You know what I mean? If I'm wearing a red outfit, I go buy a red Mercedes. If I'm wearing a black outfit, I call the dealer, go get a black one. You know what I mean? That's how we was living then. You understand what I'm saying? Because we was living a legacy. I knew I was living a movie. You know what I mean? I knew my life was a movie because it was beautiful. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not bragging, but I'm saying when it was good, it was great. It was beyond great. You understand what I'm saying? But the 26 years in prison, nah. So that's why I wouldn't do that again, and that's why I tell the youth, don't do it again. A couple of times certain things hit me, but it's like I always talk to myself and say, come on, nigga, pick your chest up. You know what it is. You fight. You know what I mean? Because my brother died on this case. You understand what I'm saying? After 2 weeks after I got sentenced, the Fed shot my brother in the head. You understand what I'm saying? And brought his picture to come see me, threw it on the counter, big 8x10 fancy picture of me chained to the ground to tell me that the fox hunt is over. You know what I mean? That's the games they play. You know what I mean? But welcome to my world, you know? But, you know, that's where it is. So none of that don't move me, man. You know, all this, man, is, you know, it is what it is, though. You know, it's just about survival. When God ready, he take you. You know what I mean? Until then, you make a name for yourself. You leave something behind for your grandkids and your grandkids. You know what I mean?
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb ties. We on our way to NYC with it. Headshot City. Uptown. Y'all meet us in Harlem. Today, we are going to be covering none other than a guy by the name of Wainsworth Unique Hall. But all of y'all know him right now as Unique Mecca Audio. Some of y'all might be familiar with his story if y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel, if y'all follow him on Instagram. He also has a book out that I would refer y'all to go check called A Roar in Harlem, where he pretty much talk about his life. And I'm going to try to do my best to dig a little bit deeper and fill some of the blanks. We know a little bit about him, but I'm going to try to talk a little bit about some of the surrounding situations that got him a 26-year sentence on a kingpin charge. Now, he was born in January of 1972. He was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and he migrated with his family at the age of 8 to New York City. I'm sure facing the trials and tribulations that any immigrant usually faces coming into the country, he probably dealt with a lot of that stuff. And by all accounts, it looked like he got settled in the Manhattan or Uptown area. He also had a brother by the name of Peter Hall, who's going to be very, very important when it comes to this case. Now, by all accounts, he got his start in the game in the wild 80s with guys like Alpo, Richard Porter, Kevin Childs, just to name a few. So that was almost what I call the golden era of hustling before the game kind of got fucked up. And like other hustlers from that time, he pretty much expanded. He wasn't just based in New York City. It seems like the operation went all the way down to North Carolina. And according to authorities, one of the biggest spots that they had was a place that I'm very familiar with, and that's going to be the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. And it seems like they spent a lot of time in the Newport News section of the state. And some of y'all might be familiar with it from Allen Iverson, from Michael Vick, and just the wild shit that you hear about the city. Now, according to the Daily Press, federal prosecutors said that he would go on to lead an 11-man, one-woman operation that carted large amounts of cocaine, crack cocaine, and marijuana from New York City to Hampton Roads, from which it was distributed to locations as far as Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, he would end up being hit with a 22-count indictment in December of 1993. That would be followed by an 18-month investigation by the United States Drug Enforcement Administration, as well as the Internal Revenue Service and Hampton and Newport News Police. Now, the indictment would go on to charge members of his operation with 2 drug-related murders, one of which occurred in 1992. And by everybody I talked to in Virginia right around that time, especially in Newport News and Hampton, that was a turn of the game, because that's when the shit really, really hit the fan as far as out of towners coming down, as far as the gunplay being stepped up. And based on that, by all accounts, that's going to be what brought the feds into the city. And on June 27th of 1994, Unique Hall was convicted of conspiring to distribute cocaine, crack cocaine, conspiring to launder money, as well as engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise. And for that, under his guidelines, a judge will go on to sentence him to life plus 20 years in prison. And normally for a family, that would be the end. But in this particular case, it wasn't, because we heard reference to Unique Mecca Audio's brother, who was a guy by the name of Peter Hall. Now, when everything happened and the indictment came down, everyone was arrested except for Peter Hall. He would end up on the run and ultimately find himself on the top 15 most wanted fugitive list of the United States Marshals. Now, in his early 30s at the time, Peter Hall was also going to be charged as a kingpin with bringing in and around 300 kilograms of crack cocaine into the Hampton Roads area. The Washington Post and the Daily Press would say that he went by the street name of Khalif, and he was also wanted for a May 1993 murder of a New York man by the name of Derek Taylor, who was killed in Dinwiddie County, Virginia. Some people might know him from his involvement with a female by the name of Kimber Smith, who was in a situation almost similar to Sandra Rucker, where I want to say Virginia really has no mercy on any females that are associated with or have anything to do with drug conspiracies. And a lot of times they'll end up making a victim out of those particular females. And I want to say Kimber Smith faced a lot of the same scrutiny, if not more, than Santra Rucker at the time. Now, while his brother Unique and an associate by the name of Frankie Thomas was sentenced to life on the same drug conspiracy, Peter Hall went on a run and stayed on the run until he was found murdered in the basement of a Seattle apartment. It seemed like the only way they was able to identify him was through the course of some computerized fingerprint tracking system. Now, we heard what Unique said at the beginning. He firmly believes that the FBI killed his brother. The circumstances surrounding it is very, very murky. It looked like it was reported by the Daily Press in October of 1994. And they don't really go into no details, just that it was suspicious and he was on the run for this specific conspiracy. So this story is just like a lot of the stories that we get coming out of New York. This is going to be a movie of epic proportions. We definitely want to shout out Unique Mecca Audio. I tried to reach out to him a couple times to try to get with him, but he busy getting adjusted. Welcome home, back to the life. He didn't tell. He contributed a lot, not only to the streets, but also to the music culture of a lot of things going on, man. He was a big dude uptown. And with a lot of people that was like portraying Alpo as this big kind of bully, Mecca Audio went and stated his position on how Rats kind of really messed up the game. He stood down on his charges, and I heard him reference it, as far as keeping it 100 goes, as the equivalent of double dribbling in basketball. Once you double dribble, that's it. You face the violation. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that's what the problem with the streets is. It's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts about it right now. But y'all know what it is with me. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. I've been trying to bring this story to y'all for a while. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red subscribe right under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. And y'all get in the comment box below. Let me know where we need to go, what cities we missed, who we need to cover, and all that, man. It's your boy Popalot. We're going to be back with some more real Trill Spill shit. It's the Mobb. 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 Mobb.